Wait, this house here is empty?
Yeah, that house is empty, and they tried to put it up for sale because the story I got from Bob, my neighbor, who went before the Historical Society, and they approved his deal. But this guy wanted to get a permit from the city or the Hysterical Society to, instead of having it so far back,
right,
they wanted to build out and just kind of use more of the lot and change the entrance to the house from from facing this way.
Right.
And of course, obviously he was turned down because the Hysterical Society didn't like what he was going to do.
Damn.
So this house is the most, other than the two-car garage, which is new, this house was not knocked down.
Right.
It was rented for a long time, and then
remodeled.
It sat empty, then they sold it, then somebody remodeled it, put it up for sale again, and then finally this person, whoever owned it and remodeled it, did a nice job. And then these there were two houses here, okay? One that it wasn't that close to this house. They moved it over.
Huh.
So it wasn't that close. It was here. It was a smaller house.
Right.
And then there was another house here. And
wow.
Both of those had work orders on it, but then they stopped, boarded it up, and then let it just disintegrate till the point where they could
bulldoze it.
Correct. They let it fall into a shambles. Watch yourself.
I got it.
And then they were able to condemn it, and then they can scrape it off. So I'll wager, I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I bet a great deal of money that they're going to put another house here.
Oh.
So they'll have three houses.
Right.
And that two-car garage, that's a brand new structure.
Wow. Sure is.
Brand spanking new.
I smell barbecue.
Yeah, well, it's lighter fluid. Somebody
smells.
Oh, and then this used to be a side yard. When I first came here,
whoa!
I'd walk the dogs up and down the alley here, and we would stop off here because there was a couple of peach trees here.
Really?
Yeah, and so it was a nice slope and nice side yard. It was, I believe, it was part of this property, but it was literally a two-lot home. So
right.
House with a nice big side yard. Well, obviously, somebody bought that, sold this off, got approval from the Hysterical Society and the city to build a brand new structure in a historic area where there was never a structure here before, number one.
Right.
Number two, they're trying to get National Historic status for this neighborhood. At the same time, they're approving brand new construction. Now, to me, that's oxymoronic.
Yeah.
I can't see how you can simultaneously tell me I can't work on my house because of historic concerns, yet at the same time, they approve somebody who obviously has enough influence with the Historic Society,
right,
to get that approved.
And they won't let you put a fence up.
They won't let me do anything.
Wow.
I've received a stop work order, which means that I am verboten, as they used to say in Nazi Germany, verboten from working on my own house, with my own two hands, with my own sweat and labor.
Oof.
My own materials. And it just goes to show, the point I was making to somebody else earlier today is, in Nazi Germany, there were nice, quiet suburbs within a stone's throw of a concentration camp. In Nazi Germany, everybody, all the good people, didn't, they weren't aware of what was going on, they say.
Right.
They just had a nice, quiet, peaceful existence. Everybody was real law-abiding. Unless you got out of line, then you got thrown in a concentration camp. It wasn't just the Jews. It was the homosexuals. It was the political prisoners.
Are you a Nazi?
I am not a Nazi. In fact, fascism is my greatest concern in this country.
Oh boy.
Because once they have, listen, you know.
Let's walk over here. I'll get you a light. Carry on.
Well, I'm going to end it there because,
okay.
Like I said, there were 3 policemen on my front door this morning giving me 3 options of either being a good boy and doing what I'm told, going to jail, or being involuntarily committed to the hospital for psychiatric evaluation. Now, if that's not the state coming down on me, if that's not fascism, then I think we're dangerously close to it. And that's just the God's honest truth. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic or in any way, exaggerate it.
Right.
But when the police are at your front door, and when your mother thinks that you should be committed, try that one on for size.
That's not a good shoe to
If
try to fit.
if that's not a mind fuck, I don't know what is.
Gotcha.
When you're estranged from your family, but the weight that a mother's opinion would weigh with a judge, think about it. You know, on one side, this is this sweet little old church lady saying, "Oh, my son."